leaders who lead, success isn't measured in promises. It's measured in results. At Rockwell Automation, our 24,000 employees across the globe focus every day on delivering business results for our customers. Because with every result achieved, we realize the promise of expanding human possibilities. That's why we're Rockwell. Our customers make products and deliver solutions that touch all of our lives. And they partner with us to realize measurable, consistent, and profitable business outcomes, delivering the real results they and their customers depend on. The people of Rockwell and our vast production technology portfolio make a real difference in industrial production quality, speed, and efficiency. Making a difference in ramping up adequate supplies of life-saving vaccines. Making a difference by helping deliver vehicles that are affordable, efficient, and safe. Making a difference by engineering sustainability into every system and solution we deliver. Because at Rockwell, we believe better is possible. And the results we deliver add value for our customers every day, in every industry we serve. Our systems connect your company end-to-end with data-fueled insights, improving the decisions that deliver results and expanding human possibilities. Rockwell Automation. Results achieved.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to our final live stream before we're down in Orlando at our ROKLive event, where you'll be able to hear from experts from Rockwell Automation as well as Plex Systems. If you're not familiar with ROKLive, this event happens the second week of June. There is 1 week until it happens. And maybe you've heard of Tech Ed or PowerPlex before. Those are two events that we're bringing together to turn into ROKLive this year. So if you haven't registered for the show yet and you're interested, click the link in the live stream, get your name on the list, come and join us and do some learning. There's going to be a lot of great learning opportunities at the show. So my name is Nicole. I am the Customer Advocacy Program Manager at Rockwell, and I will be joined today by Rachel Conrad, who is our VP of Customer Support and Maintenance. And we're going to be talking about some of the cybersecurity learning opportunities specifically that you'll find at the show. But before we jump into that, and we will in just a second, I want to thank you guys for being here today. Thanks for taking the time to tune in to our live stream. And I know that we have you tuning in from all over the world with all sorts of different levels of familiarity with cybersecurity. So what would be helpful for us is down below in the comments, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being you completely understand it, 1 being I have a lot to learn, where would you rank your knowledge about industrial cybersecurity? So are you way down on a 1, you still have tons to learn? Are you somewhere in the middle? Are you a 10, you know everything there is to know about industrial cybersecurity? Drop it in the comments. Give us some feedback on what type of an audience we're dealing with today. And with that, I'd like to bring out Rachel. So Rachel, again, is the VP of Customer Support and Maintenance. Rachel, it is always a pleasure to speak with you. I don't get a ton of chances to do this, so this is great. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to get to see you in person, too, at ROKLive.
I can't wait. Just a couple of days away.
A few days to go, yes. So we have been hearing a lot about cybersecurity attacks in the OT space, whereas this was not really a thing in the past. Why do you think we're hearing about this now?
Yeah, well, I think if I look back, 2017 was probably the big initial wake-up call for OT environments with WannaCry and NotPetya. Those were 2 attacks that really woke us all up to the urgent need to think differently about cybersecurity in the OT world. I think what happened is everyone at that time was rushing and trying to figure out what to do to make sure that they were protected. Rockwell, we, as a company, we got together with a few of our customers that were really on the leading edge about their security programs and the IT and OT convergence. And we got together to try to define some quick actions that people could do to protect themselves. And some of the things that we came up with were pretty simple, but one of the most complicated challenges was really a big divide between the IT and OT teams. And so that was one of the areas that we've really been focused on is how do we bring IT and OT together? Because many of the attacks that work their way down to the OT or kind of production manufacturing environment start in IT. And, the great thing that happens with wanting to have data moving around your OT facilities is also some of the biggest concern, because when you move data around, that's where some of the risk comes. So you get great insight from data, but it also means that you got to think a little bit differently about how you protect yourself. So there's been several wake-up calls. There's been a lot in the news lately about ransomware hitting critical infrastructure, food companies, and kind of holding their assets ransom where they can't get back up and producing, and they're down for multiple days. So you're seeing a lot more in the news because it's happening more frequently, and now we're just much more aware of it.
Yeah, and I think the severity with some of this is at such a different level than it would be at the IT layer, right? Like for some companies where you just can't have downtime, like electrical grids and water facilities and like the needs in our life, this is a scary kind of thing. So you mentioned IT and OT needing to come together and talk. They're usually pretty separate at many companies. What else are companies doing to try to get after cybersecurity?
When we have a lot of conversations, every day with customers around, where they are in their journey, what they're thinking about. One of the most important things that we give advice to customers on and helping them develop their strategy is it all starts with the assets. You got to understand what assets you have deployed so that you can effectively put countermeasures in place to protect what's most important to you. And whether that's IP, a secret recipe, whether that's you need to keep up and running and you don't have time to go down. There's trade-offs, right? There's always trade-offs. And starting with your assets and doing an assessment is really the first place to start so that you can start to build your risk profile. You can have an understanding of what you're willing to invest now. What are the simple kind of low-hanging fruit things that you can do now? And then how can you work to a more aggressive and adaptive cybersecurity plan over time to address, more of those threat vectors that could impact you?
Great. Yeah. How do we help? Like, what is the Rockwell, role in assisting our customers with cybersecurity?
Yeah, a couple of things. So, part of what we do when we consult with customers is to get their IT and OT organizations together and really talk about effective strategies, talk about meeting them where they are, talk about their environment. Rockwell we're 120 plus years in the OT environment, really understanding that environment, applications, the processes involved. And that's what we bring to the table. So we've built a pretty robust offering of cybersecurity services to help customers along that journey, whether they're trying to detect threats, whether they're trying to prevent threats, or they're trying to respond and recover after something happens. So we really take a layered security model and kind of work them through that using the NIST framework, which is a really great guideline to help people along in their journey. And we just work through that framework with them to put the right layered services around it, the right technology, because technology alone, without understanding what it means to you in that environment, really doesn't do much. So anything from assessments to penetration testing to backup and recover, even to a managed service provider. We recently opened our first secure operations center in Israel, and that really is all about managing for customers their OT cybersecurity environment, because we know it's hard to find cybersecurity expertise. It's hard to keep those resources, and especially ones that have OT and cybersecurity. It's really hard to find today in the market. So those are some of the things that we're doing in services, but also Rockwell as a company is obviously looking at ways to continue to protect our products as well as offer services to the market.
Got it. Right. Yes. It's not just the services, it's the technology itself needs to be built in a way that's secure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What about at ROKLive? I know that there's going to be some sessions devoted to cybersecurity. I think you've got a couple appearances in some keynotes.
Yeah.
Can you give the folks tuning in an overview of what they can expect to learn at ROKLive?
So certainly. So on the first day, the first keynote, I'll be talking about lifecycle services and the importance of cybersecurity and protecting, your production environment. So that's the first day, first thing in the morning. On day one. And then also there's a little space dedicated to cybersecurity. When you walk on the floor, you can see that. And then there's a couple sessions where some of people on my team are going to be talking about cybersecurity. So you can see it in a couple different places.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. So, and Rachel mentioned the floor. So that's a new element of ROKLive this year, the Connected Enterprise Expo. It's a small show floor where you can see some of our offerings, and there will be a little corner designated for cybersecurity. So that'll definitely be a place to check out if you're looking to learn more about this topic. Rachel, it has been a pleasure chatting with you. I think we've given some teasers about what's to come at ROKLive, and hopefully some folks are interested in learning more about what we can do to help them out with cybersecurity. I have a question for you that's not in our list of what we talked about before this, but what are you personally most excited about for at ROKLive? Is there a session? Is there an element of being at a show? What are you excited about?
I think first off, it's the energy of being back together with everyone after doing everything remote for so long. So I think it'll be a great show. It's a new way coming together to see the Plex team too as part of the ROKLive family. So I'm excited to see how that all comes together. And I'm just really excited to see our partners and customers back in person.
I agree. I feel the same way. Yeah. So thank you so much for your time today.
Yeah.
Again, for those of you tuning in, if you're not registered yet and you would like to come, join us. There is still time. There's still a week till the show. You can click the link in this post to register for the show. And then when you're building your agenda, just put cybersecurity in the search bar if you'd like to find some of the sessions that we touched on here, and they'll all pop up for you in the search. So thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in today, and hopefully we'll see you in a week in Orlando. Thanks.